You see, for years, many people, and even some doctors, myself included at one point, believed that prescriptions or hormone therapy were the only options to address the changes that come with getting older. But the more I listened to my older patients, those vibrant, connected individuals who seemed to defy the typical narrative of aging, the more I realized something profound was hiding in plain sight. What I discovered may shock you, because the truth is, 4 everyday fruits could be the key to reigniting your energy, circulation, and closeness naturally. These aren't magic pills, they're nature's quiet warriors, fruits that work with your body, not against it. Let's talk about these powerful allies that can help restore what you might have thought was gone forever. Red grapes, the flow restorer. There was a time in my own practice when I, too, believed only medications could restore circulation in aging patients. But then I started seeing something remarkable among my older patients who defied aging. Red grapes. These vibrant little fruits may look unassuming, but they hold one of the most effective compounds for aging circulation, resveratrol. This natural antioxidant works deep within your blood vessels, helping them relax and expand, allowing more oxygen-rich blood to reach your muscles, heart, brain, and yes, your intimate areas. What makes red grapes especially unique is their ability to reignite blood flow exactly where aging tries to steal it first, the lower body. As men and women age, it's not uncommon to feel coldness in the feet, a loss of responsiveness during intimacy, or fatigue. But when blood can't move freely, neither can energy, desire, or connection. Red grapes help restore that freedom. For older men, daily intake of red grapes has shown promising results in improving erectile strength and duration. This is because resveratrol enhances nitric oxide, a key compound needed to trigger and maintain healthy erections. But unlike synthetic drugs, grapes do this naturally, gently, and without side effects. For women, red grapes help improve vascular sensitivity and circulation to the pelvic region, which often fades with time. This means more comfort, more warmth, and a richer emotional experience during closeness. It's about reviving not just the function, but the feeling. I've had older couples come back to me months later, truly surprised by how a small habit, like adding a bowl of grapes, could bring back such a big part of their lives. Every time I smile, because it's not a miracle, it's just good science and good choices. Cranberries, the kidney guardian. If there's one fruit I used to underestimate, it was the cranberry. For years I thought of it as just a tart, red side dish at Thanksgiving, but over time I began to see it differently as I listened to my older patients who still felt strong, vibrant, and connected. This fruit kept showing up in their stories, and when I dug into the research, what I discovered changed everything I thought I knew. Cranberries, it turns out, are one of the most powerful protectors of the kidneys and urinary system. These are two areas that quietly yet profoundly shape a senior's ability to feel pleasure, maintain energy, and preserve intimacy. You see, when kidney function declines, toxins build up, circulation slows, and inflammation creeps into areas we'd rather not talk about. This can lead to lower drive, reduced sensitivity, and for men, a direct hit to erection strength and stamina. But cranberries step in as natural defenders. They're rich in compounds that reduce inflammation, clear the urinary tract, and help preserve blood vessel health, especially around the pelvic region. This isn't just good for avoiding discomfort, it's vital for keeping blood flowing freely where it matters most. For men, this can mean stronger, more reliable erections because better kidney function supports healthy blood pressure and nitric oxide levels, two keys to sexual performance. For women, cranberries often mean less irritation, more comfort, and greater confidence during moments of intimacy. Perhaps most importantly, they allow both partners to feel safe and connected without the burden of silent, chronic discomfort. I've had patients who were quietly suffering from recurring urinary issues, dry intimacy, or loss of sexual desire, all relieved to discover that something as simple as adding cranberries to their diet gave them relief they didn't think was possible. When you remove pain and pressure from the picture, connection becomes easier, and that connection is what makes life after 60 truly rich. Papaya, the energy awakener. There's something about papaya that feels like sunshine. Maybe it's the golden orange color, or the way it melts in your mouth. But beyond its sweet taste lies a hidden strength that most people over 60 don't realize. Papaya is one of the most powerful fruits for rekindling male vitality and restoring blood flow throughout the body. I remember one older gentleman, a retired school principal, who came to me frustrated. He wasn't sleeping well, had no energy, and intimacy with his wife had become more memory than reality. He was doing everything right, eating clean, walking daily, and still felt depleted. That's when we introduced papaya into his daily routine, just a cup in the morning blended with a bit of Greek yogurt. Within weeks, he was back in my office with a smile and more than a few blushes. Something had shifted. Papaya is rich in vitamins A, C, and E, as well as potent enzymes like papain that aid digestion and reduce inflammation. But what really sets papaya apart is its impact on testosterone production and circulation, especially in older men. It helps the body naturally regulate hormones while improving blood vessel flexibility and oxygen delivery. That's the kind of internal support that leads to firmer, more sustainable erections and renewed physical energy. It doesn't stop there. For women, papaya helps balance estrogen and improve pelvic circulation, easing dryness and discomfort and enhancing arousal. It also supports the adrenal glands, your body's stress regulators, so you can enjoy closeness without tension or fatigue pulling you away. What I love most about papaya is how approachable it is. It's not a supplement, it's not a pill, it's a fruit you can scoop with a spoon, savor in the morning, and feel working from the inside out. It gently restores confidence and connection without fanfare, just steady, natural results. If you're looking for a spark not just in your body, but in your relationship, papaya is your quiet ally. Cherries, the intimacy booster. There's something deeply comforting about a bowl of cherries. Maybe it's the deep, almost velvet red color, or maybe it's how they make you slow down. You don't just eat cherries, you experience them. And as it turns out, what they do inside your body is even more meaningful than their taste. Years ago, I worked with a couple in their late 60s who had been married for over 40 years. They still loved each other deeply, but something had changed. The husband described feeling disconnected from his body, sluggish, frustrated, and quietly grieving the passion that once came easily. His wife, equally gentle and patient, missed the intimacy they once shared but didn't want him to feel pressured. Together, they were ready to try something natural, and I recommended cherries. They didn't expect much, but they were open. 2 months later, they returned, more affectionate, more energized, and laughing like newlyweds, and I knew why. Cherries contain powerful antioxidants called anthocyanins, which have been shown to reduce inflammation in the arteries, increase nitric oxide production, and enhance vascular health across the entire body. This means that blood flows more freely, not just to your heart or brain, but to areas that are crucial for sexual arousal, sensation, and response. For older men, this translates to improved blood flow to the penis, which helps with erection firmness and duration without relying on synthetic medication. For women, cherries support better circulation to the pelvic region, making intimacy more comfortable, more pleasurable, and more emotionally fulfilling. But cherries don't just work on the body, they also calm the mind. Rich in natural melatonin, cherries help promote deeper, more restorative sleep. And when you sleep better, your hormone balance improves, your stress levels decrease, and your emotional openness increases. These aren't just biological changes, they're the quiet ingredients of lasting intimacy. One of the most beautiful things about cherries is how gentle they are. There's no jolt, no spike, just slow, steady nourishment. They soften your blood vessels, support your hormonal rhythms, and help bring your mind and body back into sync. And in a world full of pills and pressure, that kind of gentle healing feels like a gift. I've seen cherries change relationships not by fixing everything overnight, but by opening the door to connection again. They remind your body what it's capable of. Taking the first step, making it real in your life. Now that you've learned about these 4 powerful fruits, you might be wondering, how do I start? How do I make this real in my life without turning it into another complicated health routine? Well, that's the exciting part. If you're still with me, it means something inside you is ready for change. Maybe you've been feeling slower, less connected, or simply tired of hearing that this is just part of getting older. But it's not. Not entirely. The truth is, your body still wants to respond. It still wants to heal, and with the right nourishment, it absolutely can. That's why I love this approach. We're not talking about radical diets, expensive supplements, or overwhelming regimens. We're talking about fruit. Real, whole, natural fruit that your body recognizes, craves, and responds to in ways that are subtle at first and powerful over time. Start small. In fact, I'd encourage you to choose just one of these 4 fruits, whichever one speaks to you most. Maybe it's a handful of sweet red grapes in the afternoon. Maybe it's adding dried cranberries to your salad or oatmeal. Perhaps it's scooping out fresh papaya with breakfast, or having a few cherries in the evening as you unwind. There's no wrong way to begin, and there's no pressure to do everything all at once. What matters is the consistency. Give your body a steady daily signal that you are choosing life, choosing flow, choosing connection. Over the next few weeks, you may start to notice little things: warmer hands and feet, a clearer mind, deeper sleep, even a quiet spark returning in moments of intimacy. These are the signs, the whispers of vitality saying, "I'm still here." And here's something else I've learned from decades of working with seniors across the country. It's never too late. I've seen men in their 70s reconnect with their partners after years of distance. I've seen women find comfort in their bodies again and feel beautiful, not because they reversed time, but because they nourished the life they still have. So today I invite you to look in your fridge or your fruit basket or your next grocery list and see it differently. See fruit not just as food, but as a tool, a healing gift, a step forward. Let this be the day you begin, not because someone told you to, but because you deserve to feel good again, stronger, closer, and more alive than you thought possible. You've learned what to do, you've seen what's possible. Now the next step is yours, and I'll be right here cheering you on every step of the way. Sometimes we reach a point in life where we quietly begin to accept less energy, less touch, less connection, not because we want to, but because it feels like that's just how things are supposed to be as we get older. But I want to tell you from one human being to another that this idea is simply not true. You are not finished, you are not too old, and your body has not given up on you. What we've talked about here may seem simple, just 4 fruits, but what they represent is something far greater. They are a daily invitation to remind your body of what it's capable of, to help you restore not just circulation, but confidence, not just intimacy, but a sense of being fully alive. Think about everything your body has carried you through: the decades of hard work, the sleepless nights raising a family, the stresses of life, the laughter, the losses, the victories. Your heart has beaten every second of it. Your blood has flowed to keep you upright, moving, showing up day after day. And now, when you finally have time to enjoy the moments that really matter, connection, closeness, love, you deserve to feel supported, not limited. These 4 fruits, red grapes, cranberries, papaya, and cherries, are not a cure-all, but they are a quiet revolution. They work not with force, but with nourishment, not with noise, but with wisdom. They go where medications often cannot, into the tiny vessels, the hormonal pathways, the emotional memory of what it feels like to desire and be desired. What I hope you take away from this is not just a grocery list. I hope you take away the belief that it's not too late to improve how you feel, to touch hands and feel a pulse of warmth, to wake up rested and hopeful, to look at your partner or even yourself with a spark that you thought had faded but never really left. The truth is, age doesn't take everything from us. It gives us something too. It gives us the chance to love more deeply, to appreciate more fully, to understand what really matters. And when your body feels nourished and your circulation flows freely, your heart becomes more open to all of that. So, if all you do tomorrow is eat a bowl of cherries or toss some red grapes in your bag before a walk, know this: you are making a choice. A choice to live with intention, a choice to take care of your body not because it's broken, but because it still has so much to give. This is not the end of the road. It's the beginning of a new one, a path of renewed energy, restored closeness, and maybe even a rediscovery of who you are beneath all the layers of time you've spent. You've spent a lifetime taking care of others. Now it's time to take care of you, because you deserve to feel good again. You deserve joy. You deserve connection. And the best part? That journey doesn't begin with a prescription. It begins with a piece of fruit and a decision to believe that your best days might still be ahead.